Hello ladies. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the photograph from the 1800s that I have on this post. This is such a wonderful picture because I have seen my own children do this, where the older child is so happy because they're showing, see this, and the baby, the younger one, is putting his, not quite doing exactly what they want him to, but putting his finger on something else and examining the toy. And it's so precious. It's such a precious moment. And you know, these moments were not made for the daycare workers or the babysitters or the nanny. They were made for the mother. And they're just it's like sitting in the presence of angels. And surely God is showing himself through these little tiny developmental moments of children. And these are missed when the mother is not in the home. Every mother should be allowed to be home with her children during these formative years. And the poem that I have often put on my blog, sometimes I think people do not read it right because they don't understand irony. Irony is where something is written or said that means the opposite of what they're trying to teach. And so I'm going to read this poem to you, and it's called Hurry the Baby. And shame on us if we hurry our children. If you're guilty of hurrying your children, stop now. And none of this, hurry up, let's go here and let's go there. Let's just let them be engrossed in their play and let it go on as long as their minds will go with it, because this is a sign of great intelligence, and their minds are forming. And let's not hurry the children into the next stage. When they grow up, you want them to think that their childhood was one long golden summer and they never wanted to grow up. And what I mean by that is not that they didn't want to be mature, but that they did not want adult responsibilities and troubles to come upon them, because childhood was so good. It's a wonderful cocoon. It's where we go when there is stress. We think of our childhoods. We go back to the happiest moment of our childhoods. Remember, you're helping to create childhood memories. Are the childhood memories you're giving your children one of constant pushing and pressure and criticism, condemnation, and control that they can't seem to think for themselves? And I just wanted to emphasize how important these moments are. And just looking at that picture, you don't even need to listen to this video. You don't even need to listen to me speak to see what's going on there and what happens and why it takes time. I'm going to read this poem now. Remember, it means the opposite of what it says. Sometimes I hear young people have watched a movie and they've declared that they like a certain character, but they didn't understand that the movie was trying to teach, the story was from an old book that was trying to teach the opposite of that character, and they didn't understand irony. So let me read this. Hurry the baby fast as you can. Hurry him, worry him, make him a man. Off with his baby clothes, into his pants. Feed him on braid food and make him advance. Hustle him soon as he's able to walk into a grammar school, cram him with talk. Fill his poor head full of figures and facts. Keep on jamming them in till it cracks. Rush him through college, compel him to grab of every known subject a dip and a dab. Get him in business and after the cash, all by the time he can grow a mustache. Let him forget he was ever a boy. Make gold his god and its jingle his joy. Keep him a-hustling and clear out of breath until he wins nervous prostration and death. You know, ladies, we need to think about why motherhood is so maligned today. My husband says that he has never known a group of people that is so badly criticized than mothers. And this is because of the influence that they have. People want to put them down, run them down, because if the children are in their mother's charge, they're going to have happy, carefree childhoods. They're going to have nurturing rather than pushing. And even education is dangerous if you're homeschooling and you're pushing them to be on a par with the state recommended levels of math and reading and all this. You know that some boys don't fully develop their brains and their heads until they're 12 years old. Some people can read perfectly, but they can't spell. because they haven't quite connected yet that what they're reading is also spelling, and that words are spelled the way that they are read. They don't know that yet. It takes a while. I know that even when I was in my 30s, there were some math problems I did not understand until a certain part of my brain was opened up and I could understand certain more complicated types of math. So homeschooling shouldn't be limited to getting your children in a hurry to absorb all this stuff within a certain number of years. We took our children out of public school because of the fact that we knew that just because a child is sitting there 5 hours a day, he is not absorbing everything. Does not mean it's the same with homeschool. If you decide, well, I'm going to homeschool through weekends, I'm going to homeschool through holidays, I'm going to homeschool through summer, well, then my child will finally get to learn what he's supposed to learn. It does not mean that they're learning. It just doesn't mean they're absorbing. It just means they're not quite ready. And you're also, I wanted to make a little comment about a caution for motherhood. If you're homeschooling and you find yourself getting stressed and tense and angry, that is a signal. Put the stuff away. In order to prevent homeschool burnout, the joke is burn the curriculum. Just put it away and start using life as your curriculum. Let them enjoy their childhoods. And it isn't worth it. It's not worth it to give them the bad childhood memory of the stressed out mother and the people around that it affects. And so I just wanted to warn you about that. And also for homeschooling, it's not hurrying the baby because you're worried, you're trying to impress the rest of the world that this works. Homeschooling and childhood is about love. It's not about accomplishment. Your children will grow at a natural rate. You know the poem, once boys grew at a natural rate, now we develop a man while you wait. But unfortunately, there are parents and people putting pressure on the parents that insist that these boys and these children should know a certain thing at a certain age. If you will let go and let God, and God knows your heart, and give them the love that they need, they're going to remember things a lot better. Can you remember something your parents taught you? Don't you remember it a lot better than when you learned it from somebody else or from a book? Yes. God put the parents in charge, and we have to teach them as we sit in our house, but that doesn't mean everything comes from a book. It's who you are that they're going to learn from. So childhood is also for the development of the mother as much as for the children. If you're sending your kids off to all kinds of things all day long, you're also losing great opportunities to learn as a mother. So I hope that this has, and I realize you're not going to absorb all of this, so I hope you'll watch it again, and thanks for coming. See you next time.